Grok 5 might be the world's first AGI. And I'm not kidding, be the world's first AGI. And no, this isn't clickbait. Trust me when I say this might be the most important thing I've covered all year. And I'm about to show you exactly why. So, it all started with this tweet from Elon Musk a few days ago. You've probably seen it. It was getting a little bit of traction, and of course, it's Elon. When he says something, people listen. He said the probability of Grok 5 achieving AGI is now at 10% and rising. My first reaction, okay, another crazy Elon timeline. I even made a video basically saying he's being overly optimistic about AGI. It just seemed premature. But I missed something. There was another piece of information, another tweet that changes the entire context of that AGI claim, and it's the reason we're here right now. So, here's the tweet from Elon Musk. My estimate of the probability of Grok 5 achieving AGI is now at 10% and rising. And everyone in the space, myself included, had the same reaction. Okay, Elon. Sure. It felt like peak Musk, audacious, unrealistic. But after seeing another tweet from Elon, I have completely changed my mind because he knows something that we are clearly missing. So here's the tweet. A Twitter user, Roy asked that will Grok 5 have continuous learning? And Elon Musk actually replied, he said dynamic reinforcement learning is important. Grok 5, like smart humans, will learn almost immediately. Almost immediately. Let that sink in. That little phrase right there, that's not just marketing fluff. That is a direct shot at the single biggest, most fundamental problem holding AI back from becoming anything like us. To get why that's such a big deal, you have to understand AI's dirty little secret. It can't remember anything. Think about how your brain works. It's cumulative. You learn to walk, then you learn to run. Learning one doesn't erase the other. Your brain builds on itself. It integrates. These massive large language models with trillions of parameters, they don't do that at all. They suffer from a problem with a perfectly metal name: catastrophic forgetting. Let me break it down. An LLM like GPT-5 is basically frozen in time. Its knowledge cutoff is sometime in 2024. If OpenAI wants to teach it about something that happened today, they can't just tell it. They have to go through a massively expensive process called fine-tuning, which is basically like retraining the whole model from scratch. If they try to just inject the new knowledge completely overwrites the old connections. It's a mess. The model literally forgets how to do things it was an expert at just minutes ago. It's like trying to teach a chess grandmaster how to play checkers. And in the process, they forget all their chess openings. It's a fundamental architectural flaw in transformer-based LLMs. And for years, it's been the unspoken barrier. Of course, everyone knows about this, but they don't want to talk about this. Instead, they want to sell us AGI hopes. An AI that can't learn from new experiences in real time is just a very sophisticated, very expensive word predictor. It can't grow. It can't evolve. How can you get to AGI if your model has the long-term memory of a goldfish? You can't. Or so we thought. The big reveal: sparse memory fine-tuning. Okay, so back to Elon. He hints Grok 5 has cracked this, and you're thinking, big claims, no proof, right? Well, get this. 3 days after that tweet, researchers from Meta AI drop a paper, and the title is everything: Continual Learning via Sparse Memory Fine-Tuning. The timing is just wild. This isn't a coincidence. This is a sign that the entire industry is zeroing in on the same solution behind closed doors. And this solution itself is so elegant. It's beautiful. Instead of treating the AI's brain as one giant interconnected mess, they've modularized it. They created what they call memory layers with millions of memory slots. Think of them as a team of hyper-specialized experts. When new information comes in, a router, a kind of neural traffic cop, looks at it and says, okay, this is about astrophysics. It then activates only the 32 or so experts on astrophysics and updates only them. The other 99,999% of the network, the experts on poetry, on coding, on history, they are left completely untouched, frozen, preserved. It's the difference between having to reprint an entire library every time a new book is published versus just sliding the new book onto the correct shelf. And the results, they are insane. Traditional methods saw an 89% performance drop on old tasks. 89%, basically a total system wipe. With this sparse memory method, an 11% drop. It works. They functionally solved catastrophic forgetting. This isn't theory anymore. Now, I was also watching Machine Learning Street Talk, and about 3 weeks ago, they mentioned having a smaller model doing something similar. They said that eventually continual learning will actually be solved.
Now, the forgetful issue, that is a much more fundamental issue in my mind, and not just the fact that you need to every time you fine tune, you have to have some sort of very elegant mixture of data that goes into this fine tuning process so that there's no catastrophic forgetting. This is, I think, actually a fundamental problem. So and it's a fundamental problem that even OpenAI has not solved, right? And I think Francois is a great example, and I think this is an important example. If you have the perfect weights for a certain problem, and then you fine tune that model on more examples of that problem, the weights will start to drift, and you will actually drift away from the correct solution. His answer to that is, well, we could make these systems composable, right? Like we can freeze the correct solution, and then we can add on top of that. I think there's something to that. I think actually it's possible that there's a research direction where maybe we freeze experts, or maybe we freeze layers for a bunch of reasons that isn't possible right now, but people are trying to do that. But I think fundamentally compute is not the issue. I think it's this catastrophic forgetfulness.
So let's put this all together. The biggest blocker to AGI is continuous learning. Elon Musk says his next model has it, and then a major competitor publishes a paper showing a viable path to get there. You see what's happening here? The dominoes are starting to fall. If this is real and scalable, and the paper suggests it is, it changes the game in 3 fundamental ways. First, the economics. The cost of keeping AI models up to date plummets. You're not doing these billion-dollar retraining runs anymore. You're doing targeted, cheap, surgical updates. This accelerates everything. Second, true personalization. This is the big one. For products, your AI assistant can actually learn you. It can remember your conversations from last week, learn your preferences, your projects, your communication style, and get better and better for you over time. It becomes a dynamic partner, not a static tool. And third, and this is the path to AGI, the feedback loop. An AI that learns from every single interaction enters a state of self-accelerating intelligence. Every question you ask it, every correction you give it, every task it performs makes it smarter. It learns, it gets better, it takes on harder tasks, it learns more from those tasks. It's a recursive improvement cycle that until now has been impossible. This is the engine, this is the mechanism that could take a model from just being a vast database of knowledge to something that can truly learn and reason about the world in real time. Okay, hype check. Is this it? Is AGI just around the corner? No, let's be real. Solving catastrophic forgetting is like inventing the warp drive engine for a starship. It's a monumental, game-changing breakthrough, but you still need to build the rest of the ship. There are still massive, massive hurdles. 1. Abstract reasoning. These models are incredible mimics. They are masters of statistical pattern matching, but they don't understand things in a deep causal way. They can predict the next word in a sentence about gravity, but they don't have an intuitive grasp of physics. 2. Embodiment and world models. True general intelligence might require a body, a way to interact with the physical world to learn cause and effect. This is still a purely digital solution. It learns from text and images. It doesn't learn from doing. And 3, agency. And this is the big one. Who is driving? An AGI needs to have its own goals, its own curiosity. It needs to be able to make long-term plans. Right now, these models are just incredibly powerful puppets. They wait for our prompts. They don't have any internal motivation. Think of it this way. Meta's paper gives the AI a perfect, infinite library, but we still need to build the librarian, the conscious reasoning agent that can walk through that library, connect disparate ideas, and create something truly new. So let's go back to that Elon tweet one last time. 10% and rising. A few weeks ago, that sounded absurd, but now, when you know that the fundamental problem of AI memory is likely solved, that 10% doesn't sound like a wild guess anymore. It sounds like a calculation. Musk and his team at XAI are almost certainly working on their own version of this architecture. Grok 5 shot at AGI isn't about having more parameters or more data. Its entire chance hinges on being one of the first models built from the ground up on this new foundation of continual learning. We are not at AGI, but a barrier that many thought was a concrete wall for the next decade has just been shown to be a door, and it's been kicked wide open.